I started this thing literally a week ago yesterday, mid-December. So one of the last things I thought I would end up doing was going to be a video that was all about the Reds. But here we are. It's a crazy week last week for Reds news. First off, we have Pete Rose. I'm not surprised that his ban was upheld. I wasn't. But I do wonder, because I saw a couple things on Twitter about maybe the possibility is reopened that his number could be retired, or he could go into the Reds Hall of Fame. They could build a statue. So I'm wondering if maybe some kind of compromise in this couldn't come about, or eventually one or two of those things happen. That the Reds get to honor him more as much as they want, then he's just completely out of it. The Hall of Fame question is still valid. However, that June report, that really hurt him there. As I kept saying before that, you can separate his managerial career and his playing career. Let him in as a player. You can even have a little asterisk saying, but while he was a manager, he bet on baseball. But his Hall of Fame career as a player can't be ignored. So I'm wondering if that'll be reopened, but last year I heard Hall of Fame said they hadn't changed their stance. Who knows? But that June report saying that he did bet on baseball in his last few years as a player, that hurt him a lot, I'm sure. So, I don't know. I'd love to see him get in. He had a fantastic career, one of the best hitters of all time. He should be in there. Whether he will or not, that may be a while before that question is fully answered. Johnny Cueto. Love watching that guy pitch. Love it. So it really hurt when they traded him back in July, but every Reds fan knew that was pretty much bound to happen. So he signed with San Francisco. 6-year deal. Opt out after 2. If he opts in, San Francisco gets the option for a 7th year. An interesting format. I've been seeing a lot of these big contracts where they get opt-outs about halfway through the deal. I'm wondering if that can become the norm or not. It's starting to look like it, that's for sure. But Cueto's is one that I have not seen yet, so I wonder how other teams will take to that. People kept saying while he was in Kansas City, he's injured, something's wrong with him. I just think he's an NL pitcher. I don't know what it is. But whenever he plays NL teams, home or away, he dominated. So I don't know. I think he'll be fine in San Francisco. And I think he's going to be a free agent after 2017. Because he'll have a couple great years. And he'll be able to make some more money. The funny thing about that, few places that were linked to him that he could have gone where he would not have been the unquestioned ace. He's going somewhere now where there's next to no question that he's not the ace. San Francisco's got a pretty good one in Madison Bumgarner. So I think it'll be good for Cueto. He'll be in another pitcher-friendly park. He's back in the National League. I think he'll be just fine. Todd Frazier. Oh man, that one hurt. Every Red fan loves Todd Frazier. Loves the guy. We knew going into this offseason that there was a pretty solid chance that he could be traded. So it hurts to see him go. The interesting thing is whether or not this ends up looking good for Cincinnati because of the package they got. Jose Peraza was very highly rated, especially when he was in the Braves system. So I've heard his star is starting to dim a little bit. They also got Scott Schebler, I think his name is, and Brandon Dixon. They can at least get a solid regular and then a quality backup. I think this turns out to be a pretty good deal. There's no way the Reds can afford him. No way. He's had a couple really good years. And we saw, what was it, a year or so ago, Kyle Seager signing a $100 million deal in Seattle. So he's going to cost way too much. So I think they did the smart thing by trading him. But now the question is, did they get enough? And as always with prospects, that's a wait and see situation. Brandon Phillips. Looks like he's staying a Red, which I'm happy about. Rumors he was going to Washington. I was debating with a couple friends about this, and they kept telling me, he's gone. There's no way he wouldn't accept it. And I heard all the arguments, the logic behind it. He's going to a winning club. He's reuniting with a manager that he loved. And he'd likely get a raise or extension. Which it turns out an extension was what he was wanting. I guess Washington didn't want to give it to him. I heard all that. But I kept telling him, no, this is far from a done deal. Far from a done deal. A couple things. One, Brandon Phillips loves Cincinnati. Loves Cincinnati. Few players love the city they're in and their fans as much as Brandon Phillips loves Cincinnati and Reds fans. And that's not knocking other teams who identify so much with their city. Phillips' love for this town is just astronomical. It's crazy. I heard he recently bought a house here in Cincinnati. His family loves it. So that logic was also pulling him. But also, I don't think Brandon Phillips cares what logic says he should or shouldn't do. Brandon Phillips is going to do what makes sense to Brandon Phillips. And to him, that was stay. He didn't get the extra incentive he wanted to go to Washington. I'm sure he's perfectly happy staying a Red. And I'm happy that he's staying a Red. Because they wouldn't have really gotten a huge prospect for him. So, all that they would have gotten is salary relief. And for a team that's going to have a payroll probably in the $70 to $80 million range, is it really that big of a deal? Well, not to the fans, that's for sure. So we still get to see a known quantity. Get to see him make spectacular plays. And I'm excited for it. It's not going to be a great season, but at least we got something to look forward to. So, that's all I got. I'm going to come back to you in a couple days because there's a lot of stuff that I didn't get to that I really wanted to, including these guys. Huge win. But we'll talk about it more in a couple days before the holidays come. See you then. Peace.